We get tears when we are emotional. We get tears when we cut onions. But
both are not same.
in this second video of dry eye series, we learn about the three types of tears, the importance of tears beyond just crying, and why we end up with a runny nose every time we cry. In 1980s, Dr. Frey and colleagues conducted an interesting experiment on tears. They divided the participants into two groups. The first group were exposed to vapors of freshly cut onions, and the second group were made to watch sad movies. Then they collected tears from both the groups to see what was different. The first group, who were exposed to onion vapors, produced tears because of irritation in their eyes, and so they are called reflex tears or irritant tears. The second group, who was shown sad movies, produced tears because of emotions, and so they are called emotional tears. The purpose of reflex tears is to flush away irritants and dust, so they are more watery. Emotional tears, as they deal with emotions and stress, contains higher levels of proteins and stress hormones than the reflex tears. Some scientists think that emotional tears help in psychological health by letting out the stress hormones. Other than the reflex tears and emotional tears, there is another even more important type called the basal tears. They are constantly produced in small amounts, and whether we are crying or not, these basal tears are always present in our eyes. With every blink, they form a thin layer of tear film on the eye that lubricates and keeps the eye moist. We have already seen that reflex tears help in flushing away irritants, and emotional tears may help in our psychological health, and basal tears lubricate the eye. Other than this, tears have lysozyme. Lysozyme is an enzyme with antibacterial properties that protects our eyes from invading germs. Another important function of basal tears is nourishment of the cornea. If you see clearly, the cornea, or the black part of our eye, is transparent and doesn't have any blood supply. The basal tears form a thin layer over the cornea and give oxygen and nourishment to the cornea. They also wash away any waste products that are produced by the cornea and other cells. The tear film also creates a smooth optical surface, helping us see clearly. So, the tears lubricate the eye, provides oxygen and nourishment to the cornea, wash away the waste materials, and also help in clear vision. That's why our eyes get blurry and scratchy whenever we have dry eyes. Where do these tears come from? Tears come from a gland called lacrimal gland, which is located above our eyelids. And with each blink, the basal tears that are produced by the lacrimal gland form a thin layer of tear film which lubricates, protects, and nourishes the eye. Then the tears drain into tiny holes in the corner of our lids. Then they travel through canals in the lids and go down a duct and are emptied into our nose. Whenever we have excess tears, like when we cry or from irritation, some of the tears dribble out of our nose through these canals. And that's why you have runny nose whenever you cry. And when the tear system can't handle all of them, they run down your cheek. Unfortunately, as we age, the basal tear production goes down. That's why dry eye is more common in old age. Also, certain medications can also reduce basal tears and cause dry eyes, which we'll learn about in later videos. We have learned that with each blink, a thin layer of tear film is formed on the cornea. But tear film isn't just one layer. It's a fascinating combination of three different layers, and problems with these layers is the most important cause of evaporative dry eye. So we'll learn about tear film, its layers, and its importance in the next video. Until then, if you have any tips or questions about dry eye, let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.